Hello, ladies and gentlemen. What you are about to experience is something like you've never seen before. In the 1970s, Bruce Lee brought Jeet Kune Do to the United States, came to Seattle, and since then, the question has been asked for years. What is the best fighting style? If you put styles together and you had everyone fight against each other, what would happen? We may find that out tonight. 8 of the greatest mixed martial artists on the planet will be fighting tonight. You will see boxing, karate, judo, jiu-jitsu, and a host of other arts, interesting characters from around the world, and I have a feeling this is going to be like nothing that we've ever experienced before. So everybody get ready to see something incredible. Tonight we have a jiu-jitsu expert. Jiu-jitsu, very new to the American crowd. A lot of you may have never heard of it. Brazilian jiu-jitsu. They have a gentleman named Royce Gracie. And he claims that his art is dominant to any other. Well, we're about to find that out tonight as 8 men in a double, our single elimination tournament. You have to win 3 times. The winner at the end of tonight will walk off with a big trophy and $50,000 richer. Coming into this, what a year this has been. 1993 has been an incredible year for fighting, an incredible year for boxing, of course. So, as boxing goes, Mike Tyson, of course, we find out Mike Tyson, he has been in prison now, everyone knows, for about the last year. Interviews have been scheduled with Mike Tyson. I spoke with his former promoter, Don King, recently, who said he thinks that he'll be able to get Tyson out any time now. But the judge that he has, that she doesn't seem like she's the nice type. She doesn't seem like the former champ got the great end of the stick on this one. Desiree Washington continues to plead her case, and the heavyweight division is now in turmoil, as of course Buster Douglas won the championship after Mike Tyson had left. Evander Holyfield has came in, and basically the entire division is waiting for Mike Tyson to return. A challenger does look to be in the wings. A second fight, actually, the best fight we've probably had in boxing since the Tyson era, was Evander Holyfield-Riddick Bowe. And of course, we had the fan man, as they call him, come in. A man parachuted into the ring just last week during the Evander Holyfield-Riddick Bowe fight. So 8 of the greatest fighters in the world. Guys, there are no rules tonight, no time limits. We have never seen anything like this before. They call it the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Instead of a ring, They fight inside of a cage. There is a snowstorm. People are being warned for a snowstorm, but in McNichols Arena, there are over 8,600 in attendance waiting to watch a no-holds-barred fight, no rules, no scores, no time limits, and no one knows what is going to happen tonight. Completely bare knuckle. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu champion Royce Gracie. Kickboxing champion Patrick Smith. Art Jimerson, the boxer. We have Gerard Gordeau. Zane Frazier, world savant champion. And Ken Shamrock, been a great fighter in Japan, #1 Shudo fighter. Taylor Tooley, a former sumo wrestling champion from Japan. And Kevin Rose, just a badass boxing dude, considers himself a street fighter. And this is going to be like nothing anyone has ever seen tonight. I'm Mike of Fights with Friends. We are broadcasting from Denver, Colorado, and this alternate pay-per-view tournament coming here from Denver, Colorado. So who wins this tournament is anyone's guess. Jim Brown has been talking about this. He's one of the commentators on the SEG alternate broadcast over there in the arena. We are just outside of the arena, and we've been talking to fans. They have no idea what to expect in this. Jim Brown has even said that he wouldn't do it. Any of you watching at home, maybe some of you guys would watch this at home. I'm not sure, but we are about to get into the fights in this on the main event, or on the main card of the tournament. I said 1993 has not just been an incredible year in the world of boxing, but in sports in general. Michael Jordan is coming into his own. Coming off of 2 rookie years, 35 points against the New York Knicks a few nights ago, and he may be the next star as far as basketball is concerned, but the boxing division is in a little bit of turmoil. We have a gentleman coming up named Roy Jones Jr. Some of you may have watched him in the Olympics, but he has been on a collision course with a man named James Lights Out Tony. Of course, James Lights Out Tony, known as the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world for quite some time now. There's been a few challengers to that, but it has been basically him. Terry Norris might have something to say about that, but the two men that get in there and actually get it done are going to have to be Roy Jones Jr. And James Toney. That will be next week, next Saturday from MGM Grand. James Toney and Roy Jones Jr. will fight for the IBF World Super Middleweight title. James Toney's about a 2-1 favorite coming into that one. Roy Jones Jr., of course, last year coming off winning the middleweight championship from Bernard Hopkins. Then he won the World Super Middleweight title from Thomas Tate. First fight coming into this is going to be Gerard Gordeau versus Taylor Tooley. 410-pound sumo wrestler. Savant versus Sumo. And here are the fights. Second fight is going to be Art Jimerson versus Hoist Gracie. Ken Shamrock, the Pancrase champion, is also going to be in this. And this should be absolutely amazing. Next week, guys, like I said, pay-per-view. If you have not turned into pay-per-view, if it is available in your area, $24.99 is presented through SEG Sports. And I understand that there are some technical difficulties for some people. Some people are not getting video. They are only getting audio from this broadcast. Our producer is working on that right now. Watch the bottom of the screen as our producer puts out instructions to what might be going on and gives you updates. The snowstorm seems to be giving people quite an issue. Right now, there is Taylor Tooley, 6'2", 410 pounds, out of Honolulu, Hawaii. Gerard Jurdo from the Netherlands, a Savant champion. He is an absolute animal. I got a chance to talk to Gerard Jurdo some before this. He is an interesting cat. We had a couple beers together. I would say he's not a guy I would probably spend a lot of time with. I don't want to say too much, but he did not strike me the right way. I will say that much. He is a great fighter, no doubt. Beyond that, he's not the most progressive guy in the world, maybe I would say. So some of the difficulties going on hopefully are fixed now. And the first fight of the Ultimate Fighting Championship is coming right now. All right, here we go. 206 pounds, former European Savant champion, a Dutch karate champion for 8 consecutive years. Absolutely amazing, has not lost in years, Gerard Jurdo. And out of Honolulu, Hawaii, wow, this guy is, he is a city among himself. 420 pounds. That's right, 420 pounds. So make room for this big SOB. Holy jeez. Taylor Tooley. Can this cage contain this guy? He is so big. Somebody better be holding that cage closed. Gerard Jurdo used to wearing gloves, but they decided no hand rubs at all. So this is the first basically bare knuckle boxing, I believe, that has happened in the United States in quite some time. So a little bit, they are allowed to tape their hands. And apparently one man that said in the back does have a glove on. The boxer Art Jemerson. I heard that he would be going out with one glove to be able to grip. That could be to fight a young man named Royce Gracie in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And from what I've heard, it sounds like he may be coming out and fighting with a gi on. For those of you that don't know, a gi, and there we go. And it is starting. Here we are, round one. Oh, and Taylor Tooley rushing Jurdo, and the kick, wow! I think he lost a tooth and a huge right hand. And if you look right behind Taylor Tooley, if you were able to see who's there, the man running this entire event, Art Davie, is sitting in the front row, and I know personally sitting with representatives from Gatorade, about 6 gentlemen. They are looking to get a sponsorship from Gatorade, and that was brutal. And Taylor Tooley saying he does not want to stop. Will they let this go? We're not sure what the rules are here. I don't think the referee can stop the fight. I'm not sure they can stop him from fighting if they want to. This is completely uncharted ground in the world of combat sports. And the doctor's talking to him saying, "Are you ready to go?" They should not be stopping this fight. They cannot stop this fight. Under the rules that we were given, they cannot stop. Let's watch this replay. And then he pushes him down. Here comes the kick. And boom. Oh, you could see it launch through. That went right by where founder Art Davie and that whole group of Gatorade executives were sitting. I'm not sure how that's going to play in Gatorade's favor, but fans seem to like it. You will not see that on boxing. And American fans, I don't know if American fans of this generation of combat sports have ever seen a downed man kicked in the face like that. What even kickboxing has not been the biggest thing in the United States. But Gerard Gordeau of Amsterdam, Netherlands, it appears that he's going to be the winner. And he is leaving the cage. And this fight is over. Wow. Are you kidding me? What a crazy match. And I can hear through my headset, through the alternate thing, as former football star Jim Brown sitting cage side. Former karate champion Bill Superfoot Wallace sitting next to him. And I don't know what Jim Brown's probably never even seen anything like this. And he was maybe the toughest SOB to ever put on a football jersey or a helmet. And I think Taylor Tooley was wishing he had a football helmet on there. Because that was absolutely destructive. Coming up, kickboxing versus karate. For those coming in, you may have seen Bloodsport in the 80s. There was a real tournament called the Kumite. A man named Frank Dukes was of legend. He was rumored to have gone over there and fought. Many men came out of that as the absolute champion in kind of a secret underground tournament. This has been done in Brazil under the name Vale Tudo for years. And then it goes back all the way to Roman times, the world of Pancrase. There is Kevin Rozier. He has 265 pounds out of Chihuahua, New York. An absolute animal. And here he comes down to the cage. He does not like to speak. I tried to pin him down for an interview earlier this week. He was a man of little words. When I said what was going to happen when they got into the cage, he just said, "I'm going to kick someone's ass." So there you go. He says, "I'm going to kick someone's ass." And that is the name of the game tonight. You better be tough. You better be the toughest damn man on the planet to get in this thing. And most of these guys, they don't know who Royce Gracie is. Some of these guys have never heard of jiu-jitsu, but he is very popular in Brazil. And coming up next with a 4th degree black belt in Kempo Karate, 230 pounds. He is the WKF Savant Kickboxing Champion, Zane Frazier. No relation to Joe Frazier as far as I know. And 6'4", 265 pounds. Record of 66-8. All wins by knockout. This man has knocked out 66 other men on this planet. Absolutely amazing. And there he is, Kevin Rozier, a kickboxing legend. We'll see what he can do in this tournament. He has never been in a cage before. He's never been on this kind of canvas before. Nobody has ever done this. This is completely uncharted territory. And man, we are about to see another one of these incredible fights. The first fight, Gerard Gordeau impressively knocks out the 420-pound sumo wrestler in just seconds. And here we go. Kevin Rozier in the white. Frazier in the white and black. Oh, big shots from Rozier. Kevin Rozier's got it down to the ground, and he's got the back, and he is pummeling the back of the head, the elbows. Frazier's back up. Rozier with the knee to the body. This crowd is going crazy. Right hand from Frazier as he comes in for the takedown. And I've heard Kevin Rozier has been practicing for somewhat of a no-holds-barred fight. Big knee to the body there from Kevin Frazier. Wow. Knees, uppercuts. We know those. Wow. This is unbelievable. Flying knees to the body and the head from Kevin Frazier. This crowd is absolutely electric right now. A right uppercut from Kevin Frazier. Another uppercut. How many of these can he take? He has no gloves on. This is absolutely insane. Another knee, a knee to the head there from Kevin Frazier. How much more can Kevin Rozier take of those? And Rozier back with a knee. And unlike in boxing, after they would get a break after 3 minutes, there will be no breaks. And there are no rules. They can hit behind the head. The only rules in this are no biting and no eye gouging. And a couple shots there from Rozier. An uppercut from Rozier. Wouldn't it be something if Rozier came back after taking all that punishment earlier from Frazier? This fight already past the 3-minute mark. And Rozier throwing a couple shots there. Big right hand. Big right hook and a straight left there from Frazier. And what a war. What an absolute war. Frazier, 230 pounds. Rozier, an amazing 260. Right hook from Frazier. A right uppercut there from Rozier. And Frazier leaning into him. I think Frazier, he may be getting tired. He expended a lot of energy earlier in this round. Big knee to the body there from Frazier. And I don't know about you guys watching, but I think I might just kick him in the groin. It's not against the rules. Big right hand there from Frazier. And Rozier holds him. I also might knee him in the face. I mean, if you can imagine it in this, basically you can do it outside of biting and poking the eyes. There are no rules. And I can't imagine being a referee for this, but I'm not sure what his job's really going to do, except for make sure, somebody doesn't get seriously injured, I guess. Frazier has Rozier down on the ground now, knees to the head. Here from Frazier. I think Frazier may be going for some sort of choke here. Oh, another knee from Frazier. These guys are both strikers. They don't know how to grapple. They don't know anything about grappling. Front kick to the body from Kevin Rozier, and we'll see if he gets a second wind. He may be. He may be getting a second wind coming into this. Continuing to move forward. Both men exhausted. Rozier going for a front kick that misses. Referee says, let's go. And there is some time. Big right hands of Kevin Rozier. Big shots. And wow. Oh, head stomps! He is stomping on the head of Frazier, and the corner from Frazier just threw the towel in. It's all over, and Kevin Rozier will go to the next round of this tournament. And if I know Kevin Rozier, he's not going to want to talk. He's going to want to get back and rest. He would not speak to me earlier in the week. He needs to get back and rest. He does not know when he will be fighting next. But he took a tremendous amount of punishment. And wow, I don't know what to think about this. This is absolutely, that was absolutely amazing. This fight is over, I guess. We're not used to being able to see, shots to the back of the head. Shots to... Wow. I mean, there's a reason in boxing that is not allowed. And we are going to take just a second, just a short break in between rounds. Just about 1 minute. Kind of like the fighters get, and you guys can... Everybody can go to the bathroom or whatever it is that they need to do during the interview. And not surprising, Kevin Rozier says, I don't know what to say. I'm not a great interviewer. That's pretty much the story that I got from him earlier in the week. He said, I'll take the punishment. I'll make the guy get tired, though. That's enough. That's enough. What more is there to say? And absolutely great. And next we will see a man we've heard a lot about, but he's a bit mysterious. His name is Royce Gracie. He will take on professional boxer Art Jimerson. Now, I've seen these guys in the back. Royce Gracie, he was wearing a gi. It appears like he may be coming down to fight with that gi on. Now, Art Jimerson was warming up with one boxing glove on. So I guess he's used to having the boxing glove on, but then the other hand open, so he'll be able to grapple and grip, because he's going to need it against Royce Gracie and that gi. Now, that's the first thing that Royce Gracie's going to try to do. And most of these guys at cage side are, maybe wear suits or whatever. Here at Fights with Friends Studio, this is a band that just came out, Rage Against the Machine. Tickets are sell for them through our sponsor Sony. They just came on the scene last year with a self-titled album. Of course, coming out with a new style of music. If you haven't heard them, it's like a fusion of rap and rock, and I think it will play well to the kind of audience that watches an event like this. And there we go. First semi-final bout is on the card. Gerard Gordeau versus Kevin Rozier. Now Gerard got a lot of rest. His fight was only a few seconds. Rozier's fight was absolutely insane. I believe he was in there for somewhere around 5 minutes with no rest, no water, no break in between the round. And that music is the music of the Gracie family. That is Royce Gracie, the one with the white gi there. They're highlighting just up in front of him the founder of Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, Helio Gracie. And they are a fighting family. And he is representing the family and the art of Jiu-Jitsu out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He is much smaller than almost everybody in this event. He may be the smallest man tonight at 6'1" and 180 pounds. And he seems to think that he is going to take the tournament. But, we will see. This is not going to be easy. And boxing versus jiu-jitsu. We'll see how this one goes. Here comes boxing champion Art Jimerson. He's got the robe. We see one glove. I haven't seen the other hand yet. I said he was warming up in the back with one glove on. And there it is. Yes, he has one hand with the glove, just with the glove, one hand with just tape. So we'll see what happens here. And Art Jimerson, I'm sure he thinks he's going to get a quick knockout over a guy that doesn't have, really much, if any, striking experience. Art Jimerson, he's going to have about a 20-pound reach advantage at 196 pounds out of St. Louis, Missouri. And the guy is quick. He's got power punches, and he let us hear it in the pre-fight interviews. And here he comes, a professional boxer, 196 pounds, 29 wins, 5 losses, 20 knockouts, professional boxer, and 20 knockouts. How is a guy that's never struck before going to do against a guy that is 29-5 with 20 knockouts? And there are some cheers here. There is some knowledge. Maybe some people that traveled from Brazil, from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He is the Jiu-Jitsu champion of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and a 4th degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, record of 51-1 in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Royce Gracie, as I said, no known record in striking arts. So this is definitely a style versus style matchup. And here we go. UFC 1, the very beginning. Who knows if there'll be another one after this, but especially the way that first fight went, that was pretty intense. But here we go. And like I said, there are no rounds. There are basically no rules. It says no rules. There are some rules. There is no biting, and there's no eye gouging. That is the only rules. All right, here we go. Jimerson putting that jab out there. Royce throwing that front kick out there. He does have some striking. He said that he wanted to wear this gi because he felt like fighters would be more likely to try to grab him. That's what I heard, at least leading up to this week. And we'll see if Royce is going to try to get this to the ground, and he ducks underneath. He's got a leg, and then is down on the ground, and Royce Gracie is on top of Art Jimerson. He's got his legs wrapped underneath of Art Jimerson's legs. A headbutt there from Royce. He's not used to that in boxing, unless he's fought Evander Holyfield. And Royce he'll try to go for some sort of submission here. Either some kind of a choke or some kind of a body lock. And Art Jimerson, he really knows, he doesn't know what to do at all. The only thing he knows is to stand and punch and come forward. He's wearing boxing shoes, and he taps. Art Jimerson just tapped. I don't think the referee's seen it yet. Now he sees it. He tapped out. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe just frustration. But there you go. Royce Gracie is in the semifinals of this tournament. Not a punch thrown in that fight. Wow. And what a strange fight this ended up being with him wearing boxing gloves. I think if he had that to do over again, he might put the boxing gloves away, but I don't think he wants anything to do with this kind of match probably again. You could see he didn't know what was going on. It seemed like Art Jimerson he didn't seem like he trained for anything like this, for any kind of grappling or anything. Royce at least knew a little bit of striking. He was throwing that front foot out there, that front kick, and then he went for a single leg takedown. I know that. I know wrestling, and it was basically a wrestling takedown that he ends up getting the boxer down with, which of course boxers are not used to. And the fact that he did not, find him early, that Art Jimerson did not land some kind of haymaker or something, that was probably his undoing. And as this goes on, we'll see if Royce throws more of these kicks on the ground, or if he, more of these knees, what the extent of his striking is. Like I said, I believe he is the smallest man in this tournament, only 180 pounds. One big guy is out, 420-pound sumo wrestler Taylor Tooley. But coming up next, this should definitely be an exciting fight. Patrick Smith, an electric kickboxer. He'll be taking on a fighter from Japan, number one shoot fighter in Japan. Shoot fighting is somewhat similar to this, with striking and some grappling. His name is Ken Shamrock. And he is one of the favorites to get to the finals. I'm hearing in Vegas he is the favorite to get to the finals. And here come the fighters down to the cage. Who is this? First visible now is Ken Shamrock. That is Ken Shamrock, number one shoot fighter in Japan. And he may have the advantage coming into this. He's probably came from the closest art, if you will, to whatever this is. He knows a lot of different arts. He can strike. He can work on the ground. And Royce Gracie, with that last submission, if you will, may have made himself one of the favorites in this round, or in this fight. And we'll see if it's Ken Shamrock or Patrick Smith. Go on to see him. I believe the winner of this fight will face Royce Gracie in the semifinals. There is Ken Shamrock, 220 pounds, out of Lockford, California. And he is fighting in shoot fighting and pancrase. They said over there in Japan. He's my odds on. I would say he's my odds on favorite to win this thing. And here comes a highly decorated kickboxer making his way down to the cage. A few guys have seen this guy in kickboxing. He is wild, he is electric, and he will let you know it. He will knock a guy out and then tell him about it. Patrick Smith. I talked to him in interviews before, and this guy, he's a different kind of human. He seems to have no remorse for any of his actions. He said he just wants to hurt people. He told me in interviews this week, he just wants to hurt people. So, and here he comes down to the cage, Patrick Smith. Out of Denver, Colorado. He is a Taekwondo black belt as well as a kickboxer. And he says he's the strongest, most powerful, crazy guy in that. And crazy is the impression I got from interviewing him. For sure. And here we go. Third match tonight. And out of Japan, shoot fighting. 6 feet, 215 pounds out of Japan. Japan shoot fighting, pancrase. Number one shoot fighter in Japan. 24-3-2 over there. Like I said, he is my odds-on favorite to win this thing. He has experience doing the thing that's most similar to this event. But he's being thrown right into the frying pan because I have seen Patrick Smith fight. This guy is an absolute animal. He's got the home crowd behind him here. 3rd degree black belt in Taekwondo. And the 1993 Savaki champion. 250-0 in Savaki. And they have a referee. I'm not sure what his purpose is. But, oh, and look at the glare on both of these guys. They look serious. I'm not sure we're going to get a touch of gloves with these two. Ken seems to be staring through him. Patrick Smith looked away a little bit. This is Ken Shamrock's game over there in Shudo, over in Japan. He's known for these stare downs. He's known to be ice cold, as they would say, to his opponent. And here we go, the 3rd round. Wow, we have had a night of surprises so far, and I think it's just going to continue. Ken Shamrock immediately clinches up with Smith and throws him to the ground. He's on top of Patrick Smith. Smith really doesn't have any grappling experience as far as I know. And this is right where Ken's going to want this at. And he can throw headbutts from here. He can throw different shots. He can also go for submissions. And Smith maybe could here from the bottom, but as far as I know, he doesn't know any submissions. Patrick Smith trying to pull Ken Shamrock's head in. Right hand lands there for Shamrock. And Patrick Smith has really got to figure out how to get out of this position. This is not where he wants to be. This is unfamiliar territory for sure. And from what I've seen over there in Shudo in Japan and Ken Shamrock, this could end fairly quickly. Oh, and Ken going back, it seems like he's grabbing the leg. He's got the foot. Oh, Patrick Smith's got a foot. He's got the front foot or heel of Smith. Oh, and he's throwing elbows here. Oh, he's throwing elbows because Ken's got his heel on that side. Look at Ken. He's bending that back here. Smith going for a leg, some kind of a leg lock himself. And those elbows definitely hurt the thighs of Shamrock, I'm sure, but he's not letting this go. And Smith with more elbows there, and Smith taps. And it sounds like he screamed. You got to hope something didn't snap there. Shamrock moves back forward to him like he's still ready to fight. And I'm not sure Patrick Smith can stand up. Wow. So he's not used to giving up. He's not used to tapping. 250-0, he's not used to losing in Savant. But that was just something that he didn't understand. And watching on the replay here, wow, they are going after each other still. Wow, Patrick Smith is not ready to be done. I'm not sure if he understands that a submission was a legitimate way to end a fight. Not in Patrick Smith's world. And the official time, 1 minute, 57 seconds of the first round. Ken Shamrock. And they're asking him, what do you do in Japan? He said, this is like the bouts we do in Japan each and every month. Oh, and he said Patrick Smith kicked him in the head. Wow, and the crowd with chants of bullshit. We're on pay-per-view TV. I think I can say that. Wow, this crowd is not happy. I'm not sure if they understand what just happened, but they are not happy with this fight. And Shamrock just says it's all about having confidence in yourself. Well, it's also apparently about knowing what to do when you're on the ground. And Patrick Smith just had no idea what to do on the ground. And we're watching the replay here. And he grabs the heel. Yep, and there it is. It was kind of hard to see. We didn't know what was going on. You knew what was going on when Patrick Smith started to wince. And a lot of pain in Patrick Smith. He was able to walk some afterwards, though, because he continued to attack. So, up next, we are getting into the semifinals in this one. I believe, yes, Gerard Gordeau and Kevin Rozier, who both fought earlier. Gerard Gordeau, of course, got a 26-second knockout over Taylor Tooley, the 420-pound sumo wrestler, launched his tooth into the front row with a kick at the very beginning of this tournament. And he will face Kevin Rozier, who had a battle, 4-minute and 20-second battle with Zane Frazier. Ended up getting the knockout. That was a back-and-forth war like maybe American sports fans have never seen this kind of a combat sport. That was really a treat, but very vicious. And there you go. You see on the fight card, first semifinal, Gerard Gordeau of Savat versus Kevin Rozier. And after that, the second semifinal will be the Jiu-Jitsu master Royce Gracie taking on shoot fighting champion Ken Shamrock. That will definitely be an interesting matchup. Both of those guys like to take it to the ground. Ken should have the advantage on the feet. Not sure who has the advantage on the ground. But we will see. And wow, what a strange submission that was. And these guys are going to have to start training this. They're going to have to start training wrestling. They're going to have to start training different kinds of locks. And unless they're going to keep this fight on the ground, Bruce Lee used to say this. Back in the day, he used to say that you have to know what you're doing on the ground because most fights eventually end up on the ground. It's not something we see a whole lot. Boxing, of course, being the most popular sport over here in the States. But other countries, they've been dealing with this for a while. Japan with Shudo and Pancrase. Brazil with a tournament called Vale Tudo. And Bill Superfoot Wallace kind of explaining a little bit to everybody what was going on there. And Kevin Rozier coming down here after that 4-minute, 20-second battle. And Jim Brown was saying a lot of these people have respect for what's going on the ground, but I don't think they understood what was going on because everyone was booing and chanting bullshit when Ken Shamrock tapped Patrick Smith. They didn't understand what was going on. And Patrick Smith, also the hometown favorite. And here comes Gerard Gordeau coming off of that 26-second knockout of 420-pound sumo wrestler Taylor Tooley. Rozier, he's going to have to do something different in this fight. Kevin's going to be exhausted. I don't imagine Gerard expended too much energy in 26 seconds. And Kevin Rozier, much bigger. He's going to have about a 65-pound weight advantage. And he is a huge grappler here. Kevin Rozier making his way down to the cage now. And like I said before, this is something that just these guys just have not seen before. This is so new to this crowd. And here he comes. That fight with Kevin Rozier, that 4 minutes and 20 seconds, that might be a lesson to everybody to try to finish this thing as absolutely as fast as you can. And it sounds like they're saying that Gerard Gordeau has a broken hand. And the fighters voted. They put it up to a vote, and the fighters did not want to have the gloves. And the commission approved the fight with no gloves, so here we go. And here is winner of European Savant Championship, Gerard Gordeau. This guy is a maniac. We just see him kick somebody's tooth out into the crowd seconds ago. He is facing a dude 6'4", 265 pounds, though. My God. And Rozier, you can see he's already got a bunch of Vaseline on that eye. So he's already got a cut coming into this one. That does not bode well for him. And there is kind of a 5-minute clock going here. I don't know if it'll last long, but there is no time limits. Like we said, no time limits, no rules. Oh, a leg kick here from Gerard Gordeau. And Kevin Rozier tries to throw a leg kick. I don't think he's experienced in that. Jab and then a kick to the body from Gordeau and another low leg kick. And you can see Kevin Rozier immediately limping from that. That hurt him. Oh, big right hand from Gordeau. And Rozier falls off balance. A body kick and a right hand from Gordeau. Uppercuts and elbows from Gerard Gordeau. This one's starting to look like the Taylor Tooley fight already. Will we see another kick? A right hand there from Gordeau. Rozier covering up now. Another right hand. Gerard has a broken hand from early. He doesn't seem to care. Big right hand there from Gordeau. Stomps to the stomach. Those are completely legal as well. And that was on the left side. That was a stomp right on the liver of Kevin Rozier. And it looks like that's going to be the end of it. A stomp to the liver and maybe some broken ribs for Kevin Rozier. And Gerard Gordeau has a spot in the finals just like that. And I'm not sure what the official time is, but I think that one was probably less than a minute. The first fight, his first fight, 26 seconds. He might go into this thing the freshest out of anybody. Wow, let's watch the replay on there. Right uppercuts. Well, at least he came out of it with all of his teeth, unlike Taylor Tooley. And I don't see those Gatorade representatives up in the front row anymore. Wow. And this is, Bruce Lee used to always talk about a scenario like this. And he said if people actually got in a fight, that it would be over in less than a minute. And that's pretty much been the case except for Rozier's first fight. Kevin Rozier's fight with Zane Frazier. That was a battle that lasted 4 minutes and 20 seconds. But of course, this is not outside. It's not on concrete. It's not by buildings. It is inside of this cage on canvas. Now, when he says, I want to fight the super heavyweight champion at kickboxing, he says Kevin Rozier says he's coming out of retirement. And what he mentions, Rozier, is the altitude here in Colorado. I mean, it is so much harder. If you haven't breathed in this type of environment, a mile-high elevation, it's like working out with someone standing on your chest. It severely restricts your breathing. And Kevin Rozier, he is smiling though. He says it's irritating, but he gets through it. And he had fun, I guess. I don't know what these guys ended up. I don't know what they are making. I didn't see anything from the commission. The only thing that was announced was $50,000 to the winner. I've heard $50,000 and I've heard $60,000. I'm not 100% sure that was even finalized before then, but. And he says, shout out. He's just giving shout outs to Buffalo, New York. Now Kevin Rozier wants to fight. Now he wants to talk. He didn't want to talk earlier, but now he won't shut up. Wow. Yeah, he continues to keep talking. He says he hopes Gerard wins this. Well, like I said earlier, I don't know that I'm the biggest fan of Gerard Gordeau. I don't know if I'm at liberty to say what we talked about earlier in the week, but wow, and here we go. Royce Gracie versus Ken Shamrock. Both of these guys can grapple. These might be the two best guys in this entire thing. So both of these gentlemen very comfortable on the ground. Ken Shamrock will definitely have the advantage when it comes to striking. He's already fought in similar type tournaments. I think Ken Shamrock really has the advantage going into this fight. Royce didn't seem to know what he was doing much as far as striking, but we didn't get to see a whole lot of his striking. We seen that front leg kick, and that was it. And, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Royce is able to take Shamrock down right away. It'll be interesting to see, is he going to wear his gi? Is that going to make Ken try to grab onto him? Now, if Royce tries to take Ken down like he did earlier, Ken knows what he's doing. Ken knows what's going on here. Here's Royce Gracie. There he is coming down to the cage right now. That's his entire family coming down with him, all led by his grandfather and the founder of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Helio Gracie. Helio Gracie, back in the day, used to put ads in the newspaper challenging men, and it said to fights of all arts and use just jiu-jitsu, and it said he was undefeated. I said Royce from a fighting family. And here he comes. This, wow, and he had a quick finish earlier against Patrick Smith. Here comes Ken Shamrock down to the cage. And wow, I think this crowd is just shocked by everything they've seen tonight. And he's taking his time here. Remember, these guys, if they win right now, they will still have to fight one more time tonight in the finals. 3 times you have to win to get that $50,000. And there is Ken Shamrock. And this crowd is chanting. I think they're starting to get an idea of what's going on here. There was 4 weight divisions in judo. All right. It's all about to start here. Who wins? The man with the more striking, the man with maybe more grappling. We don't know what Royce's advantage, if he's going to have an advantage in grappling. We know Ken should definitely have the advantage when it comes to striking, just based on his history. From Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, 178 pounds, the smallest man in this tournament. Well, I said earlier, he won his match earlier against Art Jimerson in 2 minutes and 18 seconds. Tapped him out. Ken Shamrock earlier, he fought against kickboxing champion Patrick Smith. Submission by heel hook was the official name for that move, I guess. It says a heel hook. And maybe a touch of gloves here. Oh, and Bill Superfoot Wallace is saying that Royce has fought a shoot fighter before. So we'll see what he can do striking-wise with the likes of Ken. Wow, and Ken immediately gets a takedown. Royce is back up. Wow, this is surprising. Ken immediately goes for the takedown. And he has Royce on his back. Royce taking that heel into the back, around the kidney area of Ken Shamrock. Oh, and Royce flips him over. Wow, what an athletic move by Royce Gracie. And now he's on top of Ken Shamrock. And he lands an open palm strike there. And Royce Gracie, I imagine, is immediately going to go for some kind of a submission. All right, Ken's got his back. He's trying. Oh, looks like he's trying to sink in a choke. Ken's been in this position. Oh, Ken is tapping. Ken is tapping, and Royce lets go. I don't think the referee's seen it. And he's looking to the referee, and now Royce is saying something to Ken here. Well, if you can read his lips, I think a word starting with F or M and F came out of his mouth a couple times. Royce not happy. Ken Shamrock, I'm not sure if he was admitting he tapped right off the bat. The referee did not see it. Royce Gracie's still upset. It looks like they do kind of embrace a little bit. I mean, you could clearly see that he was tapping. I'm not sure if the referee was not in the right position or what was going on there, but let's watch that again. Ken underneath, he's got one leg wrapped around another, isolates Ken Shamrock's body, and he's just not able to get out of it. And yeah, he clearly tapped several times. And in clear discomfort. And Royce Gracie is in the finals. And him and Jurdo have got to be some favorites right now. Maybe the favorites to win this thing. They finished this whole thing quickly. There will be an alternate bout coming up next. Jason DeLucia will take on Trent Jenkins. This is a fight, an elimination fight, to be eligible to fight in UFC 2. To be announced at a future date. And Ken Shamrock just saying he couldn't breathe. Says, I'm not used to this kind of stuff. Well, if he wasn't used to it in the shoot fighting, it'll be interesting to see what Gerard Gordeau can do as far as this. He's going to definitely want to keep this standing. The advantage Gordeau is going to have going into the finals is he has very little fight time so far going into this. And what an incredible reversal by Royce Gracie. And Ken Shamrock was on top of Royce Gracie, and he just flipped him over like a teeter-totter. I'd like to talk to him and have him teach me that one. To talk about a fun party trick. He could be teaching police officers that one. Hopefully a police officer, wouldn't find himself in that position. But if he does, Royce might be the guy to teach him. And wow, incredible thing. And Ken just completely calm now. But that did not last long. Oh, and humble answer by Ken Shamrock. He was asked, are you the second best person here today? He said, I'm the third best person here today. And Ken apologizing, saying, I'm sorry I didn't give him a good enough fight. But he'll have a front row seat at least, Ken Shamrock, as will a few men here. Art Jimerson, Taylor Tooley, Kevin Rozier, Patrick Smith, Zane Frazier. All of these men will be watching on as Royce Gracie, the grappler, takes on the striker Gerard Gordeau. And Bill Superfoot Wallace breaking down the replay there again, saying Royce was able to use that gi there. Now, if you haven't used the gi, I know from a judo gi, and I think it's similar what they use in jiu-jitsu. It's a very uncomfortable weave. It's not like a shirt or a coat. It's almost like if you were, say you were able to take like really thick, like maybe hemp clothing, if you'd seen it and rub it against you, it is not comfortable. It's a double weave. There's single and double weave gis. Royce is a double weave. Now it can work against him because he's going to sweat a lot more. He's going to be a lot hotter than his opponent. And his opponent in the championship has had very little time so far inside of the cage. Finished both fights in under a minute. First one in 26 seconds. Second one, 59 seconds. So just a minute and 25 seconds in the cage so far for Gerard Gordeau. Royce Gracie, not a whole lot longer. 2 minutes and 18 seconds against Art Jimerson. 59 seconds, or excuse me, 57 seconds against Ken Shamrock. Oh, and they are booing. That is Rorion Gracie, the co-founder of the UFC, and they're with the Gracies. And this crowd is booing. I'm not sure if they're just impatient. And 65 years ago, that man, Helio Gracie, started this kind of fighting. Started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. There was types of Jiu-Jitsu before this, coming from Japan, other Asian countries. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, they say it's the best. It's definitely different. This is the only kind of Jiu-Jitsu we're getting to see here tonight. And we'll see how he's able to do when he gets inside of the cage against the best striker in this so far, Gerard Gordeau. And this entire family, they have a lot of respect for Helio Gracie. And they say, Helio Gracie, there he goes, says the first Ultimate Fighter. Well, if this thing ever makes a second one or ever becomes a sport, a mainstream sport or even a long-time sport, if there's ever a UFC Hall of Fame, Helio Gracie should definitely be in it. And I'm not sure if the crowd is saying something or if they're booing or what. A few words from Helio Gracie to his translator here. And he has been practicing, like I said, for 65 years. He is not a young man to be at this mile-high elevation. Not a young man at all. It's too bad that he would not have got to compete in this back in the day. And he said this is what he's been looking for 65 years. Very proud to be here, he says. So is Rorion Gracie, so is Art Davies. So am I to be here with you guys tonight on this historic night, this alternate Fights of Friends broadcast. Bill Superfoot Wallace, Jim Brown over on the SEG broadcast inside the stadium. This broadcast just outside of the stadium here in Denver, Colorado, snowed in. And here he comes down to the cage right now. The kickboxing champion, Gerard Gordeau. They're saying he might use some Muay Thai. Now, if Royce grabs onto him, this could be the first fighter that works against him, because Gordeau would like to clinch him as far as to get his hands behind the back of Royce's head in what's called a tie clinch to knee him to the face, and then we had to land elbows afterwards. And I know he would like to get him to the ground to give him that same kind of kick that sent Taylor Tooley's tooth, R.I.P. And here he comes, the younger Gracie brother, his older brother. He said that his older brother, Hickson Gracie, when Royce was asked, he said, he says, my brother Hickson Gracie, he's 10 times better than I am. So that would be awful impressive, because so far I'm pretty impressed with Royce Gracie. I didn't think he was going to get through Ken Shamrock. Just punches and kicks for Gerard. And remember, a broken hand for Gerard Gordeau. And we are here at the finals. From Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, the first competitor. A 4th degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Royce Gracie. And on the other side, from the Netherlands, Dutch karate champion, 8 consecutive years, Gerard Gordeau. All right, guys, and here we go. This is the main event of the evening for the champion of the first ever Ultimate Fighting Championship. Like we said before, no rules, no times. And you can only save yourself in this thing. The referee cannot help you. The doctors cannot help you. We did see a corner throw in the towel earlier. I guess that's the only thing that can help you. This is the championship. This is for the Ultimate Fighting Championship. $50,000 on the line right here. Royce Gracie and Gerard Gordeau. And Royce immediately goes for a takedown. Gerard Gordeau able to stop him, but Royce is pushing a leg back behind Gordeau here, blocking it. That is like a judo throw, a judo sweep that Royce is going for here. Still not able to get Gerard down. I'm a little surprised by this, actually. Gordeau seems like maybe he trained some grappling. He's doing a pretty good job of staying on his feet so far. But as long as Royce is clinched onto him, and Gerard is going to try to get that tie clinch and try to get enough space to land those knees, but Royce gets the takedown, and now he is on top of Gerard Gordeau, and this is a horrible place for Gerard Gordeau. His trainer with the towel above his head, he knows what could be coming if Gerard Gordeau is not able to get out of this position quickly. And Gerard Gordeau has put some pain on some men tonight. He may be about to experience some of that himself. And the safest thing for Gerard Gordeau would be if Royce gets in one of those chokes. They're able to do that in judo. We've seen some of that in the United States. And the chokes, basically, you're just going to not be able to breathe. And there's a tap. Oh, and he is really tapping. Hoist not letting go this time. He's double, triple tapping. I think Hoist wanted to make sure that the referee seen that after the last fight. And wow, that was crazy. Oh, and Gerard Gordeau, he wants to keep going. I don't know what Gerard Gordeau would have to argue. I think he probably tapped 50 times. And wow, and Jim Brown says, I found my sport. And here at Fights of Friends, I think maybe I found my sport as well. And wow, we're going to get an interview of the champion, the first champion of this thing they call the Ultimate Fighting Championship, Royce Gracie. Wow, we'll see what he has to say. And talk about a stone cold killer. Royce, not a smile on his face. And a $50,000 winner from Rio de Janeiro. He is your Ultimate Fighting 1 champion, Royce Gracie. First ever winner. And of course, the first thing he does is thank his family. And it is a family thing with the Gracies for sure. And he worked on his fighting, he worked on his jiu-jitsu, and he worked on his English. Royce is not from Missouri, he is from Brazil. You got to wonder if maybe this was the plan all the time. And Royce says, I want to win without getting hit, without giving them the chance to hit me. That sounds like a pretty damn good plan. And Royce Gracie is the first ever champion of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. This was an incredible one, only on pay-per-view. And he's saying he turned his back to him. Yeah, he definitely turned his back to him. That's not something you want to do to a jiu-jitsu expert, as we've seen tonight. And he says he's going to go to Disneyland. So a week after the Fan Man came in, of course, last week, James Fan Man Miller crashed the heavyweight championship fight between Evander Holyfield, the man that defeated Buster Douglas, and Riddick Bowe. One man, of course, that would like to get that back, would like to be able to get in there with both of those guys, is former champion Iron Mike Tyson, but he is away in prison. Like I said, we're trying to get an interview with him. We have talked to Don King that says he's got the best lawyers working on the case. He did not seem happy with the judge that is overseeing the case. All right, Amanda, what's up, MMA or Nada? What's going on, guys? I tried to get Billy in on this one. I thought, what the hell? I thought I'm just going to I thought I'm going to go all in and just act like it's 1993 and just try to not go out of character for the entire time. So if that was confusing, I apologize, but yeah. We'll be more ready next time. And hopefully everybody's in this and we'll do another UFC or whatever's on. Oh, yeah, like in Grand Theft Auto. It is a nice metal. Whoa, that is a strange metal. That's like some kind of cross or something. Interesting. Well, thank you, Seven. Eventually, what I want to do, and I spend more time to get this through, is to do Mike Tyson versus Michael Spinks. But to do a lot more of that, I have some papers I've actually gotten from the library. Those things still exist, I guess, and some papers from that time period to kind of get myself in the mindset of what was going on in 1986, I believe it was. And then eventually I'd like to do a kind of a fantasy bout between Mike Tyson and Muhammad Ali, kind of a mishmash of the time eras. So we'll see. We'll play around with this Facebook. What's going on, Cameron Miller? How's it going? We'll play along with this Facebook watch party a little bit more. I like that everybody's able to watch the fights. Sorry for the miscommunication earlier. I put a post up earlier that had the link, but I think maybe a lot of people didn't get it. They just seen that this went live, and I didn't communicate it really well. But hopefully next time we'll go much smoother. But let's throw some trivia out there. Who's up for some trivia? Conor interview. Yeah, I heard Conor talked about that old man. And Joe Rogan was kind of almost defending him, which was kind of interesting for Joe. I mean, I guess he is the mouthpiece of the UFC. But kind of defended him, saying he didn't punch him. He just kind of smacked him in the back of the head. I'm not going to sit here and defend Conor McGregor. Did you think we had went into 1993 MMA or nada? Because that was my that was the plan. Hey, thanks, Robert Kerrigan. Sorry I didn't communicate that well enough, and you had a hard time getting in till the end. Thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. Joe never blasts anyone, though. Okay. Okay, though, especially not when Brendan Schaub's around. All Conor did was try his best not to incriminate himself. Yeah. Well, yeah, as far as it comes to, like, the UFC guys and stuff, I mean, yeah, he's an employee of the UFC. It's a tricky position. And I realize that. Probably just bad camera work, maybe. Maybe, but let's have a trivia question, everybody. Refresh your browsers. And 5, 4, 3, 2. No, I was saying when Brendan Schaub's on the show, he bashes a bunch of people. Brendan Schaub bashes people. I think Brendan Schaub talks more shit than anybody in the game. And to be quite honest, it's getting kind of tiring. All right, guys, a trivia question for you. Before Conor McGregor entered the UFC, he was a champion in another organization, champion in 2 weight classes, actually. What MMA organization did Conor McGregor fight in before the UFC? What organization did Conor McGregor fight in before the UFC? Oh, there it is. Quincy Pannone. I think Quincy was first. Cage Warriors. All right, Quincy gets the first one. Fight Club, yeah. We could watch some movies like this. If you guys are interested, I didn't see there wasn't a whole lot of people in here, but I know I didn't give you guys a lot of notice. I'd been planning on doing this for a while, and then I ended up getting some unexpected free time today, so I just kind of went for it. But we could do movies, we could do different fights from in the past, anything you guys are interested in. Young David was saying he wants to get on and play some games with some of you guys. Definitely some fight games. So another movie. Yeah, Fight Club's a good movie. Definitely a good one. All right, let's throw another trivia question out there. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, I would love to play online poker, Izzy. If other people want to play. Is Fight Night Champion on PC? I was looking for it. Let me know where to buy it at, if it is, because I would really like to play that online. I would definitely play that online. We might just be able to play one or, against each other, one-on-one online, but we could have some kind of a tournament and, talk some shit, make it interesting. UFC is my game. Yeah, UFC is badass, but it's not on PC, which makes it hard to stream, but I'm going to have to figure out how to stream on my Xbox now. I finally, I should get a bonus, good size bonus next month, and I'm going to be able to upgrade quite a few things. So hopefully I can figure out how to even stream on my Xbox. But we'll see. All right, guys, this martial arts movie from the 70s features one of the bigger stars that was out of China, as he plays an intoxicated sensei. An intoxicated sensei, man, when he drinks, he gets better. What was the name of this movie? A big star from over in China. There's only a few of them. I mean, that are this big. This is like one of the top. There you go. Quincy Panola gets both of them correct tonight. It is the Drunken Master. Ghost of Double G was right behind him. Yeah, September is when we get our bonuses. It is. I actually have a layover bonus, though. Yep, Jackie Chan. You're right. I have a layover bonus from a company that I used to work at years ago. A stock option I'm cashing out. It's going to... it's a blessing. It's going to allow me to significantly update some things. Now it's just getting the time to do it. Legend of the Drunken Boxing. Yep, and I was talking to Billy today, and it's going to be a little while, but there's only 5 of you in here. I'll let you in a little bit on what's going on here over at Fights of Friends. It's probably going to be a year out. We are selling this house, though. We are buying a new house out with more land, and we're building a separate studio. I'm going to build a separate soundproof studio, and it's going to have room. It's going to have a better set behind me. But the main thing of it is it won't be in my house, and I'll be able to have guests all the time. It's going to, it'll be a separate building. And I plan on having a lot of guests in there, hopefully flying in some fighters and, with my budget, maybe bussing them in. No. How do you think Nate versus Dustin would have turned out? Who wins? Oh, man. Yeah, I've thought about that fight. I think that's a good matchup, Chris Jackson. I think they are almost mirror images of each other. If they fought right now in a 5-round, I would say Dustin. Give Nate a few more fights back, though, and he could have a pretty good shot. Dustin definitely hits harder. But I thought Anthony Pettis hit harder going into that fight, too. And, I mean, Nate did a really good job of that. Nate really knows how to roll with the punches. Dustin, he brings a tremendous amount of volume, as he did against Max Holloway. Now, the thing is, they would probably have to fight at 170, I believe. Nate says he's done fighting at 155. He doesn't want to do the weight cut. But I don't know. What do you guys think? I think they give him enough money. I think Nate will get down to 155. I really do. Dustin, he's naturally smaller. He did fight at 145 at one time, but he was significantly bigger than Max. And they were saying that weight cut to 145 was just a terror for Max. So he would be smaller than Nate, though. So, and Nate's got such a chin. Of course, so did Max. I don't think when he hits Nate that Nate's going to pop back the same way that Max did. So, all right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me for this Facebook watch party thing. Hopefully, we'll have it more synced up next time. I'll make sure and give you guys more of a leeway. My schedule is going to change, so my new route at work starting mid-September is going to be Tuesday, Wednesdays, so we'll still have the Tuesday. I'll still definitely always make time for our Saturday fights, even if I don't get the entire card. Definitely will be the main card and as much prelims as I can cover. But then we'll be able to do some things on Wednesday as well. I'll have pretty much every Wednesday free. And then don't forget, this Saturday we're going to do Bellator. We're going to do all the prelims. Plans are right now to start at 2:30 as long as work goes good. We will definitely be started by 4, though. I'll make sure and post that time up. A lot of good fights on that. Something a lot of people didn't realize coming up this week is there's a Gracie fighting. Conry Gracie. Oh, Nate versus Gaethje. Gaethje's a nightmare matchup for anybody. Why would you fight that guy? I mean, he is terrifying. And that being said, I cannot wait to see him fight again. And the guy is an absolute animal. And I think he's one of the next big superstars in the UFC as well. He's exciting. He knocks people out. So he finishes them. It's just... But to fight him, it's just going through absolute hell. And I would like to see him get the rematch against Dustin Poirier if Dustin's able to beat Khabib. Or if Khabib beats Dustin, obviously I would like to see Tony be the first guy to get the crack of that. But then Justin right behind him. Whoever is the champion at the end of that, after Tony fights the winner of Dustin and Khabib, I would want to see Justin get the winner of that. And I think he would definitely put on a performance. So, yeah, like I said earlier, sorry for the frustration. I think the people I'm apologizing to, most of them are gone now because they couldn't figure out what was going on. But like I said, I was really trying hard to stay in character like it was 1993. But here is the card coming up this weekend. Let's go to the prelims first, though. There's actually some good fights on these prelims for once in Bellator. And these are going to be on the Paramount Network. So you don't have to have DAZN this time, finally. I don't know if they were ever going to go on Paramount again, but they are on Paramount this time. Conry Gracie, just 1-1. He is a Gracie at welterweight, if anything. Taking on 0-1 Oscar Vera. A couple more highlights in this. Austin Vanderford, 7-0, coming back. He's taking on Joseph Creer, who's 6-0. Timothy Johnson comes back, 12-5 against Azuna and Yanawu. Ricky Bandejas, this kid is fun. Of course, he derailed the hype train that is James Gallagher with a beautiful flying kick knockout. He's taking on 8-3 Ahmet Kayrateli. And Mike Kimball, this guy is on fire. This guy is a really entertaining guy to watch fight. He's 3-1, takes on Chris DeSono. And then, I don't know if you guys had seen the one-arm man, Nick Newell, is going to be fighting on this one. He's taking on Corey Brown. I guess Bellator signed him. The UFC didn't have him, but Bellator decided, what the hell? We'll go ahead and sign this guy. And Nick Newell, 15-2, he's taking on Corey Browning. So the deal with that is that Nick Newell is signed to a one-fight contract. That's what I've heard. One fight. If he wins, obviously, I imagine they would look for more. Obviously, if he loses, that's probably it for him. And I thought there was one more standout on this on these prelims. Where is he? Oh, it's on the main card. I know what I'm thinking of. It's Tyrell Fortune, the heavyweight, 6-0, big prospect, taking on a man who's also 6-0, Rudy Shafroth. You also have the caveman, David Rickles, coming back against undefeated Yaroslav Amosov, 21-0. Is that guy. That's a catch weight, about 175 pounds. That should be very good. Ghost says, like I've said before, never been a fan of Connor, but I really think he just splashed the drink in his face. Yeah, it didn't look like it. It definitely didn't look like it was what the media was making it out to be. It seems like we got clickbaited. Connor versus Tony Ferguson dressed as an old man. Oh, Jesus. That's great, Chris Jackson. Yeah, Masvidal. Both those guys' boxing is so good, though. Chris Jackson. Man, Nate's an animal when it comes to boxing. I mean, he doesn't have the same amount of power. But what about this fight? Javi Ayala. He's got a couple of big wins since he's came into Bellator. He's taken on 20-1 Vitaly Minakov. Javi Ayala, let's take a look at what he's done in Bellator, though. He's definitely got some losses, here and there, but he basically ended the career of Frank Mir, and he's got a victory over Sergey Karatanov. 16-second first-round knockout over Sergey Karatanov. So, and I know Sergey is fighting Matt Mitrione now. I know he said he would like to get that one back. I mean, I'm sure he would. Matt Mitrione versus Sergey Karatanov. Of course, this is a rematch. Matt Mitrione in the first one busted Sergey Karatanov's nutsack basically wide open with a shot to the groin. I was surprised. I didn't think they were going to stop the fight. You really never see that. But I guess it was really, really bad. So Sergey Karatanov takes another shot at the nutcracker, Matt Mitrione. And that's what we'll be doing this Saturday. I cannot wait. So hopefully you guys at least enjoyed going back to UFC 1. Give me a request. If you do want to see something like this again in the Facebook watch party or something, let me know. Like I said, I'll make sure and give more notice next time if we do something like this. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going back and watching those fights and kind of pretending like I never seen them before, and wouldn't mind doing some more of that. That was kind of fun. I'm gonna. Is he scripted yet? Oh, you're saying the Conor thing? Are you guys saying the Conor McGregor whole thing is fake and scripted? I was starting to have, I don't know if somebody else threw that idea out there, but I was starting to have the thought that, maybe since they said it was just a little smack, that maybe Conor himself planted that in the news. So I don't know. Well, you said fake, Ghost of GG. So I was trying to figure out what you guys were talking about. UK news doesn't get out. Well, I guess out of Ireland, when there's a crime, unless there's a conviction, there's a lot of laws protecting the privacy of especially public figures. That's why it took so long for the sexual assault allegation to get out. And, of course, that's out now against Conor. This strike against this old man, that happened in April. So before the cell phone incident, I believe just a few weeks before. I'm not sure. What are you talking? I think Izzy's talking about the Conor incident. Oh yeah, he has to get it when he lost to Khabib. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what he's talking about. All right, guys. Thanks again. I'm gonna get some dinner, get some rest for tomorrow's work day. As always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see you fine asses soon.